Good morning, fourth grade online learners. Welcome to Mr. Moses class, November 18th, 2020, where we have some strange noises being made today. Thank you for stopping. Okay, so that's not what we're talking about. We are talking about slow changes to the Earth's surface. And if you have your book at home, we are on page C26. Those tall structures in the ocean were not formed overnight. It took thousands and maybe even millions of years for them to erode away, and for some reason they didn't completely erode away. Some of them remained there, at least partially. The rest of them became sediment and washed up on the shores around the world. So that's called weathering, the slow wearing away of rock into smaller pieces. We also talked about this yesterday, the phenomena of trees growing up in the middle of rocks. If those roots can find soil and nutrients, and you have air and the sunlight, they're going to grow, even in splitting a rock in half. The next page we talked about how glaciers can form U-shaped valleys and even carve out large pieces of rock into different formations. And on the last page we talked about deposition, how deserts are formed, and how deltas are formed. Actually, there's one more page, volcano. And when I was looking at this a few minutes ago, I thought, how is a volcano not a rapid, but how is it a slow change to the Earth's surface? That must be pretty rapid. But what they're trying to say here is not so much the volcano, but how a mountain is built because of a volcano. So that takes time. And often it can happen on the ocean floor where most volcanoes are found on the ocean floor. And they keep erupting, and then next thing you know, you have a chain of islands similar to what we have in Hawaii. Okay, so I often thought about that. How do these islands just form in the middle of the Pacific Ocean? Well, it could be due to a volcano that's been erupting for many years, spewing hot lava underwater, slowly but surely building up and becoming huge mountains, and still spewing out lava if you're on Mauna Loa. So, yes, it's a rapid change when magma is all over the place and lava, but it's a slow change to the Earth's surface if you're considering mountain building, whether it's mountains being built at faults in the earth or at volcanic sites. Okay, so we decided that we would see if anybody would want to read any of their journal entries, which need to be 3 to 5 sentences and should be in your own words, people. Somebody in 5th grade just read a journal entry. It was about 12 sentences, all in their own words, because they knew about volcanoes. So they did a little bit from the article and then told me stuff they already knew.
Also, you can use the book version.
And you can use the book also. And I was amazed. It was so well written, I thought they copied it straight from the website. But they did not do that. And I was so happy. But today we have a special guest star, Ellison Talkisberry Smith, and she has a bunch of last names that we like to give her. But Ellison, come on up, and she's going to read a journal entry. Tell us when it's from.
This is from yesterday, and this is what I learned about erosion and weathering. Erosion is caused by water hitting the sand and rocks changing the Earth's surface. Weathering is caused by rocks crumbling and making new rocks. This is how erosion and weathering change Earth's surface.
Very good job, Ellison. Ellison, was that in your own words? All right, so Ellison always does a nice job, and naturally you're going to mention some words from the website that you just read, but it should not be an exact identical sentence or paragraph. We try to stress that.
What happens when you somehow write it on accident?
Well, it would be very, very, very accidental if you were able to write a whole paragraph exactly like what was on the website. I mean, the chances of that are pretty slim, like slim to none, and slim just left town. There's a joke in there somewhere. Okay, anybody else? Ellison read. Does anybody else want to read a prior journal? Whoa, Sebastian?
Mm-hmm.
I had a couple hands go up. So Sebastian, come on up to where I'm at. And when you read, if you want to, you can move your mask down a little bit as long as you're far away from everyone, 6 feet or more. And that way we'll be able to hear your voice a little better. Go ahead, Sebastian.
A volcano is a defined opening in the Earth's crust that allows magma and ashes to leave. Some volcanoes are explosive and some volcanoes are, but some volcanoes are certainly are. Once magma reaches the Earth's crust, it is low and it will be lava.
Okay, very good job, Sebastian. I'm not sure the people at home if you're able to hear him, but he mentioned some key words, volcano, magma, and different vocabulary from the lesson. So very good job. Lily. Okay, Lily wants to read hers from today. Lily, would you like to come up front? And Lily, Sebastian did do a nice job. I heard him clearly, but maybe speak a little bit louder so people at home can hear you. Thank you, Lily.
Erosion can cause its problems by removing soil and rocks that support buildings. Soil erosion can also be a big problem for farmers. All of this shows how erosion can be a problem for people.
Okay, good job, Lily. Little girl, big voice. And yes, fine job. I heard you clearly from the back of the room. Anybody else? Allison wants to go again.
Can I read it from today?
Allison wants to read today's. Sure, Allison, come on up. Maybe a little bit louder, Allison.
Okay.
Just saying.
This is what I learned about erosion. Erosion is made by water, wind, ice, and gravity. Most energy that makes erosion happen is by the sun. Erosion is caused by many different things. That is what I learned about erosion.
Okay, good job, Allison. And let's do a time check for all our online learners. It's 6 minutes and 10 seconds. So everybody say hello, online learners.
Hello, online learners!
And we have some creative voices. So we will be back to see you again tomorrow, and keep doing a good job. Bye-bye.